Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. So we're going to dive right into it. We've got some massive breaking news. After killing the Iranian Supreme Leader terrorist Soleimani, sleeper cells all across the nation have already been activated. Then we're also going to get into a constitutional crisis that is coming to the United States because of what the DOJ has discovered. Smash that thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment. How's your day going? We're going to get into this first. You probably heard about last night. A man, an immigrant from a Muslim nation, wearing property of Allah in Austin, Texas, killed Americans.
To get deeper into that mass shooting in Austin, Texas, with some brand new information. I had mentioned before, 3 people killed. Fox confirmed the shooter who police killed was a naturalized citizen from Senegal. Sources are now telling Fox the shooter was wearing clothing that said Allah on it, and he had on an undershirt with an Iranian flag on it. The FBI has just announced they are investigating this as a possible act of terrorism. They said maybe, probably, could be. They're investigating it as such now. A possible.
Also, on top of that, we are learning that just moments ago, just outside of Washington, D.C., there has been a mass stabbing and shooting in Washington, D.C. 4 people have been stabbed, and emergency crews are responding. This could very well be another sleeper cell attack. Ladies and gentlemen, we also learned this morning that 3 American service members were killed in action and 5 seriously injured. Pray for the United States. Pray for our men and women in uniform, and so that President Donald Trump has the wisdom to navigate this very historic moment. Now, during my opening, I also said we are looking at a constitutional crisis. Let me roll you this clip.
So this is a question that I've really wanted to ask you, like, sincerely, Mike, is what happens when you're able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that at least 10,000 votes were fraudulent, because that was the margin of victory, that Joe Biden didn't win this state, that these 2 senators who also won, and it's amazing. I couldn't believe, I was blown away when I was pulling up this data yesterday with Barry Loudermilk, who's a congressman from Georgia. The 2 senators from Georgia, they won by the exact same margins, exact same vote tallies, same numbers. It was like perfectly algorithmic. And it's like, wait a second, what happens now if you actually say there are illegitimate senators that are serving, that were not duly elected, and that this election didn't go for Joe Biden, it went for Donald? What happens there exactly, constitutionally, Mike?
It's a good question, Ben. I mean, Democrats have been rigging and stealing elections for decades, including Kennedy's. So it's Democrats are very good at this. It's unacceptable. I mean, it's truly unacceptable if, first of all, we know the election in 2020 was rigged and stolen because the Democrats violated the elections clause under the U.S. Constitution by unilaterally using COVID as an excuse to change election laws and not having state legislatures or Congress change the election laws. You can't just do that. That violates the elections clause. And remember what they did with COVID. They used COVID as an excuse to mass mail live ballots out to old voter lists, including college students who have moved 10 times since the last election. These live ballots pile up in mailboxes, in dorms, and apartments. And the only way you can stop the voter fraud is through signature verification. But the Democrats made signature verification meaningless. They turned the machines down to where it would not catch signatures that were wrong because apparently COVID changed our signatures, right? That's the tell that this election was rigged and stolen, is they got rid of signature verification. Yeah. That's separate from the fact that if you have our voting machines hacked and tampered with by foreign governments, that's active war material. Like that's like that is some bad stuff. That's treason. That's active war. I mean, if people actually did this, they need to go to prison for the rest of their lives at a minimum.
Now, that right there, that would lead us into a constitutional crisis. We've never been down a path like that where a presidential election is easily proven and will be proven in the court of law. Remember this, it will be proven that it was stolen. They now got the proof, they now got the evidence. As soon as this Iranian dust settles, we will see the proof, ladies and gentlemen. And what happens next? Trump is owed a third term? What about all these senators, Congress people? We're going to see we should see mass arrests once everything is proven and out in the open. Ladies and gentlemen, we are entering some very interesting times on all fronts. President Donald Trump is fighting for border security, great economy, world peace, taking out terrorists, right? And terror regimes. And now, thanks to the open border policies of the Democrat Party, we have sleeper cells being activated. Stay strapped. Be prepared when you go out with your family. Make sure you have something to protect yourselves with. God bless you. I appreciate you. I'll keep you updated. I will see you on the next one.